Kyoto, is now a good time?
Oh, hey, Nanae. What's up?
There's something really important I want to talk to you about.
Sounds serious. Did something happen?
Well, yes it did. I think you're going to be super shocked by what I'm about to tell you. So please prepare yourself.
Okay, so what's going on?
I'm out doing my freelance work at a cafe in a shopping center. And your mom was sat in a seat right behind me until just now.
Huh? My mom?
We had our backs to each other. It seems like she didn't realize I was behind her at all.
That's unusual. It's not like my mom to be out drinking tea in a cafe.
So, anyway, she was with some guy I didn't recognize.
Huh?
I overheard them saying all sorts of things. It seemed like the man she was with was her lover.
What? Wait, what? What are you talking about?
You must be shocked. I couldn't believe it myself. I started recording their conversation as soon as I realized what was going on. I want you to listen to it later.
I see. Okay, I will.
I am sorry to have messaged you with this kind of thing. But there's no way I could keep it to myself.
Don't worry about it. It must have been really unpleasant for you to suddenly find yourself listening to something so awful. I am sorry for my mom's behavior.
Don't be silly. You have nothing to apologize for, Kyota.
Let's carry on talking about this at the house, okay? Probably gonna have to let my dad know what's going on, too.
Right. Okay.
Nanae, are you there?
Hello.
There's a little thing I want to ask you to do for me.
Oh? What is it?
Well, you see, the week after next, from Thursday until Sunday, would you mind stopping by the house every now and then to check my husband?
Your husband?
That's right. There's a school reunion being held in my hometown on the Saturday, so I plan on staying with my parents for a little while since they're close by. But, as you know, my parents live a very long way away.
Of course. It takes about 5 hours from here, including changeovers from both the bullet and the regular trains, right?
That's right. That's why it makes more sense to stay over at my parents' place. I'd like to have plenty of time to relax while I'm there.
I see. So you plan on leaving the Thursday after next, is that right?
Don't get me wrong, my husband is quite capable of looking after the house by himself. But I'm probably just worrying too much. But I would be grateful if you could show your face at the house every now and then, just to check on how he's doing. Oh, and he'll be working as usual on Thursdays and Fridays, so you only need to check him on the evenings on those days.
Got it. I do freelance work from home, so I'm fairly flexible when it comes to my schedule. Sure, leave it to me. I want your mind to be at ease.
Thank you, Nanae. You're such a sweetie.
That's okay. Kyota, your mom just messaged me. It's just like I thought. She's planning on going away. From Thursday till Sunday, the week after next, apparently. She asked me to check in on your dad every now and then while she's gone.
Even while she's away doing that, she still worries about my dad. Either that, or it's some kind of trick to try to camouflage what she's doing.
I don't know anything about that. But I do know that the school reunion she's supposedly going to doesn't exist. I know this must be difficult for you, Kyota. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm pleased you told me.
What about your dad? You met him at a local restaurant and told him everything, right?
Yeah. We're together now, actually. I played him the recording, too.
Your poor dad. How did he take it?
Well, you see... Turns out he actually suspected my mom was up to something for a while now.
He did?
He said he had an inkling something fishy was going on, but was depressed and anxious because he had no evidence. He seemed weirdly relieved when I told him, as if he was finally able to process his feelings. I mean, I guess I kinda understand what he means.
I see. Well, if your dad's mind's made up, that just leaves one thing.
Yeah, you're right. Let's settle this.
Yeah. Hey, how are the preparations for your school reunion going? Are you having a good time?
Oh, hello, Nana. Yes, I'm having a blast. I am back in the family home after all. The house might be in my brother's name now, but that's not to say my dad isn't still alive and kicking. There's something so soothing about being back at the house I grew up in.
Really? I'm so pleased to hear that.
Did you want something?
Oh, please forgive me. I messaged you because there's a little something I wanted you to confirm with me.
What is it?
Am I right in thinking the school reunion's being held tomorrow? Saturday, right?
That's right. All of my old friends from high school will be getting together to catch up over some drinks. By the way, and this is just between us ladies, okay? But apparently my first boyfriend, the first boy I ever fell in love with, is coming too. To tell you the truth, I feel a bit giddy. But don't tell Kyoto or my husband about that, will you?
Oh, you're such a minx. Look at you all loved up like a teenage girl.
I thought with you being a girl too, you'd understand what it feels like to get giddy over a boy.
That's nice. To be honest, I think I'd rather not understand the feelings of someone who cheats on their husband.
What?
Let's just be straight with each other, shall we? This school reunion of yours never existed, did it?
Of course it does! Just like I told you, it's being held in my hometown!
It's just there are a few things that seem more than a little strange to me. For example, when Kyoya asked your husband, he said he had no recollection of you mentioning anything like that.
Huh?
I did think there was a chance you might just forgot to tell him, though. So, you know how the 3 houses around your parents' place belong to your old classmates from high school? When we asked them about the reunion, none of them had heard anything about it. We even tracked out some of your other classmates and asked them too, but surprise, surprise, no word of any kind of reunion. How do you explain all of this?
Well,
Where are you right now?
I already told you, I'm at my parents' house.
That's strange, because I'm at your parents' house right now.
What?
No one here knows anything about you coming home. Admit it, you're not here, are you?
Oh, that's right. No, I'm not there yet. Oh dear, I forgot to tell them. I forgot in my head if it wasn't screwed on.
Really?
I, decided on a whim to stop by at a nearby tourist spot on the way. I never planned on coming here originally, so I admit this has all been rather careless of me. It appears I surprised you all. But I'm sorry to have troubled you. But would you please stop with these strange accusations that I'm having an affair? People might get the wrong idea. I feel guilty if I showed up on the doorstep announced and I was staying out of the blue, even if they are my family. That's why I decided to book a hotel, so I'll be staying there for tonight. I'm so sorry for the hassle, but please, could you pass the message on to my family?
There are some things that just don't add up, though.
What do you mean?
Why don't you seem concerned about the fact that I'm suddenly at your parents' house? Aren't you curious as to why?
Well,
On top of that, you still haven't given me an adequate explanation as to why there's no evidence of this school reunion actually existing.
Well, that's,
Kyota wants to speak to you now.
Huh? Kyota? Oh no, you're with Kyota right now?
Yes, we're together.
What is this? Am I being interrogated?
You'll be getting a message from him now.
Mom.
Kyota? Nanane was saying all sorts of strange things about me just now. It's not true. Just ignore her.
His name's Takano, right? The guy you're cheating on Dad with?
What?
I won't go into detail, but sure enough, we know everything. It was pretty easy to find out the rest once we knew his name. Takano's the guy you mentioned in your message to Nanae. Your first boyfriend from back in high school, right? You two reignited your old relationship when you were reunited at a school reunion 5 years ago. When you caught wind of him having just divorced his wife, you invited him for a drink and ended up spending the night together in a hotel. After that, when he started getting serious about you, he decided to move to our town where you lived with Dad. Captivated by his intensity, you got serious about him too. And you resolved to use Dad's impending retirement as your opportunity to file for a divorce. You planned on coming up with some nonsensical reasons to justify the divorce so that you couldn't be held legally responsible. And we're getting ready to take half of Dad's stuff, including his pension and alimony. Then marry Takano so the two of you could live happily ever after. Does that sound more or less accurate? Feel free to correct me if I got anything wrong. But let me make one thing clear. That is not mere guesswork or speculation.
How on earth?
Listen up, Mom. Remember that time you met Takano for a coffee at that cafe inside the shopping center a little while back? While you were sat and merrily chatting away, a certain acquaintance of yours was sat with their back to you in the seat directly behind you.
What?
That person heard everything, from the two of you reminiscing with delight over being reunited, all the way up until the situation between the two of you today. Including your little scheme to try and steal Dad's retirement money, among other things. They recorded everything from start to finish and handed it over to me as proof. We did some further research based on the recording, and that's how we know what we know now.
What? Someone recorded us? Who was it?
That's not important. By the way, as for Dad's retirement next week, that pension money you've got in your crosshairs will be getting paid into a different bank account to the one his salary goes to every month. Which means you won't be able to get your greedy hands on it. I guess you could call it Dad trusting his gut. It's not necessarily that he had any evidence you were doing what you were doing. Somehow or other, he felt like having his retirement fund paid into a separate bank account would be the right thing to do. And it looks like he was right.
No way!
There's one more important thing I've got to tell you. The proceedings for your divorce with Dad are already well underway.
What?
You already had some divorce papers with your signature on it stashed away in the drawer in your dresser, didn't you?
How did you know about...
We found them while we were getting your belongings together.
What? My belongings?
Here's a message from Dad. What the hell are you playing at? Think you'd do something like this at your age? I don't need a wife who cheats on me. Looks like you already had the divorce papers ready. So I did you a favor and took them down to the registration office. However, I fully intend on extracting as much compensation as I can out of you and Takano. Goodbye.
Please, wait.
We got all your belongings together and had them dropped off at your parents' house.
What?
We went out of our way to rent a moving van and have them taken there for you.
Why would you do such a thing?
Isn't it obvious? You're divorced now, which means you have nowhere else to go but your parents' place, right? The house belongs to Dad, after all.
You have no right to go doing that without my permission!
Rights? Permission? You lost any claim to those things when you decided to cheat on Dad. Besides, weren't you the one planning to file for divorce? All Dad did was put his signature next to yours on the papers you already had. What's the problem? Shouldn't you be pleased?
No, you've got this all wrong! It's not like that!
Anyway, Dad asked me to tell you to only contact him through his lawyer from now on.
His lawyer?
As for me and Nanae, we don't really feel like speaking to you ever again.
Wait, Kyota! It turned out my mother-in-law was in the middle of a lover's holiday at a famous tourist spot near her parents' place. 2 hours after the last message, she turned up at her old house where Kyota's dad was, and frantically rang the doorbell. Apparently my stepdad completely ignored her, at which point she went to mine and Kyota's house. However, since me and him stayed the night at a hotel on the way back from his parents' house, we didn't end up seeing her. And then my mother-in-law was forced to pay compensation to my dad. But her lover, who had used his entire pension to cover it, was furious with her, and their relationship fell apart. "This is all your fault," he said. She didn't like the idea of having to go back to live with her parents either. Now she's living in a cheap rundown apartment a little way away from her hometown, working like a dog to pay the compensation she owes to my stepdad. Up until this whole affair, she'd been a stay-at-home wife this whole time. As such, she probably would have never imagined she'd end up spending what should have been her retirement years working to exhaustion.
Sis, guess what? A huge confession from your lovely brother. I finally decided to get married.
What, you getting married?
I proposed to my girlfriend the other day and she said yes. So we are going to have a wedding and file registration this year.
Oh, congratulations, Tristan. Well, are you going to introduce her to the family then? You'll introduce me to her, right?
Well, that's actually why I'm calling you. I want to have a dinner party with both families at the end of the month. And at the dinner, can you please, not say a word to my fiancée, Allison?
What do you mean? I can't even say hello to her?
She doesn't like you. She doesn't even want to have dinner with you. But I know we can't do that. So I asked her to come, but I told her she doesn't have to talk to you.
I don't understand. Why does she not like me? I've never even met your girlfriend.
Actually, Allison is what you might call a daughter of a very wealthy family. Her family owns a big company. That's why she hates people with dirty jobs like you.
What? What did you just say?
You see, you work in a dirty factory, right? I know you're in dirty work clothes every day. She really can't stand people in that line of work.
You've got to be kidding me. And you don't actually want to invite me to the dinner? Not only that, you're telling me not to say a word to her if I want to meet her? How rude of her!
Can't help it. She's a sheltered girl.
That can't be the reason.
I understand how you feel, sis, but please, be a grown-up here. Please, just stay quiet at the dinner. Don't embarrass me in front of her.
What do you mean to embarrass you? If you're my brother, you should have said something to her. You should have said something like, "Don't make fun of my sister's job." How can you not get upset while your family is made fun of?
Huh? How can I back you up when you're working in a dirty little factory? Your job is so sweaty and crude. People hate those jobs, and you can't blame them for that. It's hard enough for me to tell her not to make fun of you.
What?
I'm begging you, keep quiet for your little brother's sake. I want to marry her. But what if the marriage is called off because of you? If that happens, will you be responsible for my life?
Oh, well, that's...
If you can't even take responsibility, then please keep your mouth shut at the dinner party.
That's enough. I'll just show up and leave right away. I'm sure that'd make you two happy.
That'll be great. I'll let her know right away.
I was so surprised today. I had no idea that my daughter's fiance was Allison's brother. Such a small world, isn't it?
It really is. I never thought I'd be greeting you like this. I'm surprised too.
I wish I could have talked to you a little more. Were you not feeling well today? You didn't say a word at all, and you left right before the meal was served.
Actually I was. I have a terrible allergy to hay fever and have been struggling with nasal infection. It's hard to even have a simple conversation and eat. I left because I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm relieved to hear that was the reason. I thought it was my daughter who made you leave.
What?
I'm sure you've heard from your brother. My daughter is a very selfish girl. She's especially picky about who she likes and dislikes. Once she identifies someone she doesn't like, she hates them to the core. She even says things like, "Don't open your mouth in front of me because I don't like you." So I thought she might have told you to go home without saying a word.
That wasn't my case. I decided to leave on my own.
In fact, I'm deeply moved. I can't believe that my selfish daughter, whom I had to deal with for so long, is finally getting married. She seems to have matured a lot recently. I'm sure it's because of Tristan. I'm very grateful to him. They seem to be having fun every day.
Yeah, they do seem to get along.
I can't wait for their wedding. I'm looking forward to becoming a family with you. Thank you for coming out today. I caught a glimpse of you and noticed that you had already arrived at the wedding venue.
Yeah, I just arrived a few minutes ago. Wow, it's the first time you're messaging me in person, isn't it? Perhaps, are you trying to warn me not to say a word again?
Oh, you got that? That's exactly what I was trying to ask you.
I knew it.
But I've decided to reconsider that. I don't mind you speaking, but could you please just leave now? I'm sorry, but I want you to disappear from my wedding now.
What?
I still can't accept you. I can't believe that a dirty factory worker is here at my wedding. I feel as if my wedding is going to be tainted, and it makes me feel sick.
Oh, what?
And the dress you're wearing looks so poor and shabby. It's exactly the kind of plain dress that suits a factory woman. I would have allowed you to stay if you looked at least a little better.
No, that's a terrible thing to say, Morgan. This dress is my favorite dress. Not only do you make fun of that dress, you tell me to leave now?
Huh? Are you talking back to me despite your status of being so poor? That's the kind of thing that pisses me off the most, and I can't do this anymore. Ugh, what am I going to do? I don't feel like having a wedding anymore. I'm sure it will crush Tristan if I tell him I want to call off the wedding.
What?
Of course, you don't want that, do you? I'm sure the poor sister can't even be financially responsible if your brother's wedding is canceled. You should behave and listen to me. There's no room for poor people here, so go home now. A bottom-feeding factory worker like you doesn't deserve to be at my wedding.
Well, goodbye then.
Don't ever show your face again. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry. Everything will be as you wish. Then I'll say a final hello to your mother, the president, and then I'll be on my way. I'm gonna tell her that I'll cancel any further business with our factory.
What?
Your mother's company needed certain parts that only we manufacture. Your family's company has been a long-time consumer of ours. But I can't believe that after today, we'll no longer have any business with them. It's a shame, but it can't be helped.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You know my mom?
Oh, what do you care about the poor person? Nothing that you'll be interested, so just enjoy your weekend with Tristan. Well, then I'll get going.
Come back to the wedding now. My mom is so mad at me. She said if you don't come back, the wedding will be canceled immediately. She does not approve of this marriage either, and she says she's going to kick me out of the house.
What? Kira's usually so calm and gentle.
Exactly. She's usually so mild and kind, but she is terribly angry today. I mean, is it true what she's saying? She says you're the president of a factory and that you make important screw parts for our company's products. Is it true that we can't make any of our products without those parts?
Yes, that's true. That's why your family's company will have to stop manufacturing for a while. Without our screws, the product won't be complete. I hope you can find somewhere else who makes them. But as far as I know, there aren't any.
You're kidding! You make such valuable screws? Are all screws the same?
A screw's just a screw, but it also makes a whole difference. We even have a patent for our product. We're the only company that makes screws that never loosen.
Oh, please, Allison. I'm sincerely sorry for everything I've done. So please, come back to the wedding.
I'll accept your semantic apology. But even if you apologize, it won't erase the fact that you dissed me. And I don't even have a dress to wear to your wedding. Even if I received a sincere and heartfelt apology, I still wouldn't be able to attend the wedding.
I also apologize for calling your dress plain. I mean, you know what? If I recall well, it wasn't plain at all. It's not that the dress is plain, it only seems so because you are gorgeous. That's what I really wanted to say.
Excuse me?
I think you would look better in a more beautiful dress. So I will give you a dress that suits you right now. So don't say you can't attend the wedding. I will buy a really pretty dress for you.
No, thank you. Even if it seems plain to you, I like the dress. Your mother gave it to me. I feel very attached to it that I don't need any other dress.
What? Did my mom buy this dress for you? Why would my mom give you a dress?
She gave it to me when I took over the factory for my predecessor. My predecessor threw a small inauguration party for me. That's when she gave it to me as a gift to congratulate me. It's very difficult for a woman to be in top management in this world. She very well acknowledges that. So she encouraged me that we'll work together as comrades from now on. She gave me this beautiful dress as a token of her encouragement.
Are you kidding me?
It's a high-brand tailor-made dress. It's sophisticated and simple enough to wear on any occasion. The dress means a lot to me, and I've used it many times. I wouldn't want any other dress. Now, if you'll excuse me...
I'm so sorry about my stupid daughter.
No, it's not for you to apologize.
Well, I still need to do something about it, even if you say so. If you don't mind, I'd like to make another formal apology. And please reconsider your decision to cancel our contract.
Kira, that's really unnecessary. And please don't worry about the contract. That was all just a bluff. I wouldn't bring my personal feelings into a business discussion.
Really?
Of course! I'm sorry for making you worry. I only reacted to what she told me.
It's okay. That's really not something you should apologize for. It's all my stupid daughter's fault. I'm so sorry for everything. I've heard all about the dinner party and everything else.
And with all due respect, she is one hell of a daughter.
It's so embarrassing. I know you don't want any apology, but still, please let me come and apologize to you properly. My husband and I can't let it be if we don't give you a formal apology.
Really? It's okay. In fact, I'd like to ask you something in return. May I discuss some business matters with you? There are some things I'd like to review regarding our current contract.
What? Have you changed your mind? And you want to end the contract?
No, I won't do that. It's actually regarding the price increase, to be frank. Due to the recent high oil prices and other factors, we've been under a lot of pressure. I'd like to discuss with you regarding the pricing.
If that's the case, I'll make time for you right away. Of course, we will consider it positively. Then I will contact you again regarding this matter.
Yes, please do so when things have settled down. I look forward to hearing from you.
Hey sis, is it true that you are now the president of the factory?
That's none of your business.
Don't be so cold. Actually, I have a favor to ask you. Can you please hire me at your factory? Please, you're the only one who can help us.
Huh? What do you mean? Why so sudden?
Actually, we're having a really hard time after the wedding. Morgan got kicked out of her parents' house. She's so spoiled and has been in a sheltered life until now. She has never really worked before, and now she is kicked out of her house.
She deserves that. She put her parents' company in jeopardy.
Yes, that's true, but she's in trouble in other ways too. I was going to work for her family's company after I married Morgan. That's why I quit my previous job to prepare for it. But that's all gone too.
Oh no. That must be tough.
I had a decent job until then, but I quit the job thinking I may eventually be able to take over her family business. Then look at what happened. So please hire me at your factory. I'm pretty good at what I do. $100,000 for a salary would work for me.
What?
You know how they say you get a raise when you change jobs, right? Besides, I'm your brother. I'm the family of the president, so I should be treated quite well, right?
Of course not. Hell no, I'm not hiring you. Get your butt moving and start searching for a job on your own.
What? You won't help your sweet little brother?
No, you're not sweet at all. You never backed me up when your wife dissed me. You didn't even care to be on my side.
Well, I couldn't help, but then I didn't want to provoke Morgan into breaking off the engagement. Come on, Allison. We're going to be without a place to live tomorrow. And no job too. We're really in a bad situation here.
What?
We were going to live in her parents' apartment, but of course, not anymore.
You really don't have a job or a place to live.
Exactly. I spent all my savings on the wedding, but their parents got mad and called it off. I had to return the monetary wedding gift I got, and I'm really in trouble.
Oh no. You lost everything.
I won't let her make fun of you again, so please, can you help me? Your sweet little brother is in trouble, so help me out.
Sorry, Tristan. I don't have a little brother anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, your wife told me. She said not to ever get involved with you guys again. That's why I can't do anything even if you come crying for help.
All that talk is nonsense. Morgan is here with me now. She says she's really sorry for everything, and she says she'd really like to be friends with you now.
Tell her I definitely don't want to be friends with her. Well then, take care. I have to work at the factory today, so I'm busy after that. After that, Tristan went crying to our parents as well. They were also very angry with him. My parents told him until I forgive him, the whole family will not forgive him. He was basically banned from coming home, and now he had to find a job in a rush. But his salary decreased significantly compared to his previous job. Moreover, because Morgan has a completely screwed up financial value, Tristan's salary disappears within less than a day. Finally, Morgan has registered with an employment agency for her part-time job. She is assigned to work as a janitor at her parents' company. She cries every day for the situation she's ended up in. As for me, I'm finding solace in my work at the factory. The machines hum in a comforting rhythm, and the tasks keep me focused. It's ironic how the place that once symbolized struggle and defiance now offers me a haven from the turmoil in my personal life.